Right, okay. This is Kim Aura Rose, and we're on my page today. We're coming to talk to you about the goddess Hecate, or Hecate, however you say it. I've got Janine here with me today, and she joined me last night on a Zoom chat with a few other ladies, and we went through some deep diving with the goddess. Um, I'm working with Goddess Hecate at the moment because I'm writing a book about poisonous flowers, and last week she's bringing me lots of information and lots of codes and lots of things to write about. So I'm in this structure phase at the moment. So I'm going to introduce you to Janine, and she's going to tell you about her poems and her artwork that you can see behind her, and we just want to share some of our information about Hecate with you today. Okay, over to you, Janine.
Hi everyone. It's been quite a surprise, to be honest, with in regards to I'm calling her Hecate. She sort of came through to me yesterday unexpectedly, and this was like through a poem that I wrote, and then as you can see in the background, this picture.
It's beautiful. Did you do that yesterday? It's beautiful.
I did. Well, I wrote the poem, and then when I saw your post about the event, I got the inspiration to actually draw her as well. And so that's what happened. So I did the poem, then did these pictures to bring them together and share on Facebook. And yeah, I think I've realised that she's been with me for quite some time, but I haven't, as I say, I haven't realised until yesterday. I'd written a song over the weekend, which I think really relates to her energy, and I say this, and I did a live last week on my Facebook page that was all about grounding. And I'd written another poem which was called "Born of Waters of Womb," which is all about the grounding. And we were talking in that live. I was talking about. Well, I shared the poem first, and then we're talking about how ground. I mean, a lot of people are aware of grounding, like through meditation, through deep breathing, through walking in nature, being aware of your body and being in the body. But there's so many facets to grounding that I was starting to realise, and one of them was actually following your joy.
Yeah.
Following your passions and joys.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing that, you're actually in alignment with your soul.
Yeah.
And when you're in alignment with your soul,
I just feel that, like, as you're talking, just in that space, just feels beautiful.
When you're in alignment with your soul, you're actually grounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the things like, this is why Hecate is really coming through, because she really wants us to really, she's what's the word I'm looking for, advocating for us to really see to our shadow, our traumas, everything we tend to want to avoid. Because what happens is, and this is something I've realised, that when we're in those patterns and behaviours, we're not present, are we? It's always like we're always focusing on the past or the future.
Yeah. I used to be so much tied up in that, like it was either the past or other people or what I'm going to do in the future. Yeah. And it's just
so focused on the judgments,
and not just
the
being
opinions
now, and the judgment of what you think people will think or what they think, and
so this is what I was talking about in that other live, and I think she wants me to sort of mention that here. So last night, well, not last night, early in the morning, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I felt her presence again.
Oh yeah.
And she brought some messages through. So I'll just sort of share sort of what came through. I'll do my best to make sense of it. So what actually came to me, in fact, yesterday was this, the colour black.
Mm.
It was just this black was coming through, and it's sort of, as she was saying, is about embracing the darkness.
Yeah, embrace. Yeah,
and the uncertainty.
Oh wow, that feels really powerful.
Yeah.
Like, with my work with Mary Magdalene, we have a black cloak with that, and it is about being in the black and holding the wisdom and the deep wisdom within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's saying that we've got to just embrace everything we've tended to avoid.
Yeah.
Everything that's
embrace
like
the shadow side.
It's the programming. She's saying like this program that we've been living is always about everything turning out, everything about success, achievement, being perfect, doing things perfectly first time. And what this has done is that because they want us to reach these certain expectations or standards, if we're not reaching them, what happens? We don't feel good enough.
Yeah. Today I just wrote about, like, some of my books that I put out aren't perfect, especially my abundance book. There are little mistakes in it.
Yeah.
And somebody was criticizing it, and I'm thinking, well, what are you doing?
Yes.
Like, I'm just hearing the call and putting it out the best way I can. And if I wait and make it perfect, it'll never arrive.
It's just too much procrastination.
Yeah.
I mean, I've suffered with that so badly. I've missed so many opportunities because of procrastination.
About being perfect, yes.
Yeah, the perfectionism.
And I think some people like will say, well, you haven't got it right yet. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to go into what my mum used to say was, listen to people who've done something themselves and then we're listening to our heart, really. So
yeah,
getting this information to put out, like we've come on today to talk about this.
Yeah. Well,
instead of just saying, oh, I don't know if I feel perfect enough, my health doesn't feel that good, I won't come on. We're just turning up.
It might not look right, like,
yeah,
I've not got any makeup on or anything. I'm just like, I've got, all my wrinkles and just not far from perfect.
I know, like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, I'd never have come on without any makeup. I used to say, if I did a live, I'm just going to hair and beauty and put some makeup on and sort my hair out.
Yeah.
Today I'm just this wild woman who lives.
But that's the whole point. This is it. It was to be about, it's being wild.
Yeah.
Being the wild woman. Oh.
We're glitching now.
Yeah. Being this wild woman.
Yeah. We're definitely on live because I can see it.
Yeah. I'm still here.
Have you got your poem to read?
No, I haven't.
I might have it, but I'll have a look. Yeah. Well, also, let you go back to what she was bringing you last night, because they often come in the middle of the night, don't they?
Well, it was beautiful experience because I really felt her energy, and it was very no-nonsense energy.
Yeah.
And she was just coming through like, wow. I said to her, I love your energy. Because it was so assertive. It's like no holding back.
Yeah.
Not hiding and
it feels like she wants us to do that too, not to be hiding.
Yeah, this is the whole point. And that's why it's so important that we just show up, even if it's far from perfect. Yeah. Because like we just said, if we are always focusing on having to be perfect all the time, you never end up doing anything. You wouldn't show up. You'd make excuses. Doubts start to creep in and everything. So, yeah, she's really advocating that we just show up and share, no matter how rough and ready it is, how wild it may be.
Because then I find that people feel, yeah, they're real, they're like me, they're not we're like ordinary people. We're not like trying to
Yeah.
be like a superstar or be a model or something, you know,
No,
or
no.
you know, and you
This
can.
is what's been, showcased for so long, isn't it? Like if you don't look at fashion and how it has to be these stick thin models and be tall and elegant and where's the rest of us fit in there?
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
so unrealistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
And
so
I'm just picking up something with those, with it, if you come to that triple goddess with the maiden, mother, and crone. So she comes with all aspects of our lives.
mm,
So, you know, she's been with us when we were young, as young women, and as we were going through our 30s and 40s. And then she's with us and calling and coming up more, you know, as
yeah,
we're going into these older years.
hmm
I think a lot of women connect with Hecate, and she brings so many messages to, um,
yeah.
to different people, to everyone. So somebody's messaged me, and I won't know. Just check. Not that really picking up messages. Oh no, that's not what it was. That wasn't somebody about us on the call. So I'll just talk a little bit about what I'm getting with Hecate, and then come back to Janine. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Well, I'm writing a book about poisonous flowers that's to follow on from Gaia's Healing Garden book. And I'm working with 13 flowers. And I knew the book was going to be called about Hecate. So I knew that, and I've had the artwork designed. But all the symbols, she's got so many symbols, and it's like she's got the crossroads, she's got keys. I've got a little key here. Somebody gave me a little key. I've got this lady called Kate. Hang on, see the camera's funny. Lady called Kate Wood makes a gorgeous Sabbath box with different bits and pieces in. We've got a key here for this month, this Sabbath, for Samhain, and she holds the keys to portals and portals in different places. So this, she's goddess of the underworld, the living world, and the upper realms too. So it feels very to me shamanic. She feels comes in with a lot of the shamanic teachings I've had before. She's always often put to with dogs. And last week she gave me the names of the flames, and I shared this with you. This will be later in my book. But she's showing me the two flames, the two torches, and she's a keeper and a goddess of the fire. And one flame is called illumination, and it's to illuminate your path, and like we're talking about, illuminate your shadows. And the other is called transformation. So we can make that transformation, when we look at ourselves and illuminate. And it's about illumination in so many ways, in different realms, in the work we do, but in the sort of like in our jobs or our careers, and also in our spiritual work as well. So she's got these flames she's brought me, and I'm working with her with different flowers, and there'll be this transformation coming. And I've did a little poem with her the other day, and she was just bringing me this gorgeous energy of like dancing and being in our joy. And her energy is a little bit different. Like I work with Goddess Isis, but her energy is different from Isis. It's but she feels very like can't say the word, like very sort of earthy to me. That's how she comes with me. Yeah, so I go back over to Janine.
Yeah, her energy is very much like that. It's very how can I don't know how to describe the energy really. It's very forthright.
Mm.
As I say, there's no messing with her energy. It's just what she presents, what you get. Just there's nothing. There's no pretentiousness there with it at all. And it gives you that incentive to really speak your truth. This is how I felt as I've connected with her. It's like, just speak your truth. And like what I said in the poem, no denial. Don't deny anything.
I'll just see if I can find the poem. Watch
Right.
what happens when you move when you've got this screen.
You can hardly see me. I keep disappearing.
I know.
I think she wants to come through in the foreground.
I have got it here if you'd like. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, please, because I've got the copy.
Okay, lovely. Right, so just opening sacred space. This is the poem that Janine wrote. I think you write it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, and it just came to you yesterday, didn't it? Yes. And you were inspired. You said you went into the silence, and then the words started to flow. And you sort of wrote the poem, and then you did the image that's behind you, and you'll find that image. I mean, Janine's a wonderful artist, and you'll find her image on a page. What's your page? It's you can get a
Janine
link.
Rose Keel.
Yeah, Keel Rose. Yeah, Janine Rose Keel. Yeah, thank you. We'll put the links in later. So, emergence of Goddess Hecate. She surges from the underworld like the raging river, through my blood, bones, and veins, purging the vestiges of outworn crutches of the familiar, fetterings to the linear, no stone unturned, shadows diminished, a pulse, a throb from feet to head, a forceful presence embodied, no more denial, down on knees, bowing in reverence, relief encompassing my being, surrendering now to the mystery, and unfolding, keys unlocked, to the dormant doors. The serpent awakes, wielding its hypnotic power, piercing my eyes, down to my very soul. A resurgence of wild grace takes possession, dawn breaks. A new chapter awakes to unfold. Janine Keel, 31st of the 10th, 22. I mean, that feels just so, it feels serene. It feels powerful. It feels serene. It feels so many things at once. What does it, what does it mean? What does it mean to you?
There's this flow that's just happening, and this, like I say, like the surging and the power of her energy was just coming through. No matter whether I was like in agreement with it or not, it was like a happening. And that state of grace, that wild grace that she's mentioned in the poem, that's how it felt. It's like she's really it's like house cleaning. She's just doing this big house cleaning within of anything that's not who I am, anything that's been holding me back, holding me hostage. Like the fettering means restraint.
Yeah.
So it's like all those fetterings, all those restraints are now being severed. Because I mean, one of the things she holds is a dagger to strip away.
Yeah.
So this is what she's like, stripping away these fetterings, these restraints, so that it enables me to express myself. It enables me to express my truth, or whatever wants to come through. Like in this case, a message from Hecate. I call her Hecate. And yeah, she's unlocking. It's really interesting when you talk about the keys, because the keys are mentioned in my poem, and I didn't know about that. And she's like unlocking the keys to those dormant doors, which is like those doors to potential, those doors to my gifts, my abilities, my talents. And that's what she does. She's unlocking all these doors that have been not been opened because of all the patterns, behaviors, and habits that we've been holding on to, or playing out.
Thinking about this at the weekend, about how I've changed over maybe the last 5 or 6 years, or maybe only 2 or 3 years, since I've been writing and things, that before it was like, oh, you can't write. What could you write? What could you do? And I was hearing all the time, write, but not listening to that voice, because listening to
Other
external
people.
people saying, well, what's your message? Why is there something you can say? And then,
it's that worthiness thing, isn't it? Or lack of worthiness. What have I got to offer?
Yeah. And then like now, like I share the white flame codes I hold, and the pink bliss. Whereas I remember, say about 10 or 15 years ago, Kuan Yin gave me some healing, but I didn't know what to do with it. And I just thought, well, I'm nobody. Why is anybody going to listen to this? And I never shared that. And it was all to do with pyramids and working with the body with compassion and Kuan Yin. And I've never formulated it really, because that was something else. So what my example is that things have been coming to me for quite a while, but I dismiss them.
Yeah.
Thinking, I'm the small Kim, and nobody's going to listen to me. Why are they going to take any notice of what I've got to share? And
look at you now with all these books out.
all
these books published, and you like got bestseller for, was it that it was for the Flower Guardians, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a bestseller for.
Yeah, so it just proves that you needed to get out there.
Yeah, and that one actually is at the moment. I've got this beautiful lady called Helena Alice Monger, and she is lovely, and she's narrating it for me, and she's about a third of the way through, and it is a long job because there's a lot of chapters. But it's beautiful, because I struggle. I was writing about that this morning with. I can make my audios on Audacity, but I can't edit, and I don't know. I need, one of my shadows is I need to spend the time in the editing so that I can cut out the dogs barking or the crows crowing, or rather than waiting for a perfect 30 minutes with nothing. But that's one of my shadow things, and people have criticised me. I can hear a dog barking. I think, oh,
It's annoying, isn't it?
yeah. So that's why I'm having them narrated by somebody professional that can.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it won't, and this lady's been attuned to the pink bliss energy, so she's attuned to the energy that I hold. So that's within the book. So I think that's lovely. Now, I met Hecate when I was working with my where have they gone? When I was working with Flower Book, I think when I was working with cyclamen, to show you the little picture, with the cyclamen, I've got these little, hang on.
I couldn't think about what they were like last night. I was like, what do they look like?
Yeah, what they look like. I'm going to get this here, I'll hold it here. Like the little woodland flowers, and they do them in different colours. They've got green leaves. And the key words, that she's the goddess of the cyclamen. She's also associated with the yew tree. The yew tree. We've got these backgrounds on. And then I got the witch hazel out as well with her. And with the cyclamen, the key words are manifesting, fertility, and transformation. And with the yew, we have tree of life, rebirth. Now, I feel like we're going through the reset, the rebirth at the moment, and it's going to get stronger. And we're in this lull until we reach the 8th, the full moon. I think that these 2 weeks between last week's new moon and next week's full moon, we are in this clearing out through October and then stepping into this new energy. Sorry, somebody's messaged me, and I don't know. I think the live's working. What did anybody message or anything come up? Oh, it said it's not come up. Hang on. So we might be talking away and not be live. Let's just check.
It does say live on the top.
It does say live. Hang on. Yeah, it does say live on here. Yeah, it says we're live on here. Just somebody had asked me about it. I'll send them a message. See if I can copy it.
Do you want me to just carry on with my message?
Yeah, carry on talking with your message. Leave me alone. Yeah, that's right. I'll be quiet.
Right, yeah. What came as well was not to formulate too many plans and too many intentions, because, like me yesterday, things just occurred unexpectedly. It wasn't about, I hadn't planned to actually bring Hecate through, but it just happened. So what she's saying is, don't have too many plans, don't have too many intentions, because that can get in the way of things just happening spontaneously, unexpectedly. Expect the unexpected.
That's
And be open to that.
That's interesting, because like, I didn't know what I was planning to do with her. Then she brought me all these messages last week, and I've just written it all down on bits of paper, and then I really need to clear my diary and sit and write.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're encouraging us to bring playfulness back into our life, not to be so rigid and fixed. You know, it's not, as it's mentioned many times, we're not living a linear life. We're living multidimensional, and so what that means is that we might do one thing one day, but then the next day it could be something completely different. And being open to that, not thinking, oh, I must do this and I must do it. It's like this, or so focused on a progression thing. This is not new. I mean, this has been said before, but it's like a reminder and a confirmation, you know, to just focus on what's happening in today.
Strangely, last week,
presenting itself.
Well, last week I took did something playful. Well, we didn't go to it all, but we went to Screamfest, which is sort of like a like a scary Halloweeny thing. Apart from, I was really silly because I didn't pay for the price, didn't pay the tickets properly, and so we couldn't go in the really scary bits. But we were so enjoying ourselves, and it was something so different that we played some games and things, and it was just, I went with my husband. It was such fun, but I wished I'd upgraded so I could have gone and been scared to death by these things. But it was just bringing this fun in, and this things we used to do, perhaps, or the type of thing we do when we were first married. And a couple of weeks ago, we were in Glastonbury, and we were going to the fairy ball, and we're getting dressed up. And
I saw you in one of your posts.
It's just such fun.
Yeah, this is what's really being encouraged, is to have more fun. Get back to being a child again, you know, because when you're that child, it's like you're not perfect. You're just doing things, and you're exploring, and you're being curious, and it's all these things that they're encouraging us to do, instead of just doing same old thing, routines. You know, it's breaking away from, I mean, of course, there's a place for routines, there's a place for plans, there's a place for, but not to get so wrapped up in it all, to give space for all these other things as well, so that have more of a balance in our life. And again, as I say before, when we're doing something that brings us joy, when we're playing, we're actually we're becoming very, very grounded. And this is going to be really, really important. And this is one of the messages, is that we have to do this. It's imperative we do this clearing of the shadow, clearing of all this old energy, old stuff, because the chaos and the mess that that's happening in the world is going to get more intense. It's not getting better. It's going to get more intense.
Yeah.
And what we're learning, and this is something that I heard the other week by another teacher called Laurie Ladd, she's from America, and she said very, very same thing, more or less, that we have to learn to stand in the eye of the storm, you know, like a tornado or a whirlwind. We have to stand in the center of that and be at peace, be standing firm.
Yeah.
So that we're not going to get whizzed off into the chaos, into the drama of everything.
Yeah.
So, but the only way we can really do that if we're stable and we're strong in self. And so that means that if we've got to look at the stuff that creates that instability, creates us, makes us feel we're not grounded, so that when this won't happen, that we will remain strong, no matter what's happening, the adversity, the whatever, things could often easily go awry, or plans just go pear-shaped, and it's being aware of that and being again, it's that adaptability is coming in, being adaptable to what is happening and occurring in the moment. And
just realised, sorry chatting to you, we're live and I could see us. It's like we weren't live and be public, but I've changed the thing now. It was like set. I've set it so it'll be private, so it'll be set, and people will be able to pick up on the message when we've from now, and they can go back and listen to the beginning. They can see. I'm not talking
you're
about
not perfect.
No, and I can't believe it. I wasn't showing. It was showing up for me, but not for other people. I've put it on public now. That's really weird. I've not used this software for about a year, in fact. So it's really weird. So people will be catching up with us. Yeah. I felt yesterday we were talking, and what I was getting last night is we really need to be anchored. So
Yes.
we really need to be grounded.
Yeah.
Because, and I felt like I don't get messages about what's going to come. I just get a sort of, Ruth said she could see us now. Oh, my bless. Anyway, so we'll chat to Ruth quickly. Hang on, wait, I can't post it. Yeah. So, Ruth, you've just found us. We've been on for 32 minutes, so we didn't realise I had set somewhere, or Facebook did, in the settings for the message to be private, but I've made it public now. Can you believe it? Well, I knew there wasn't many people watching, and now we can tell why. But we're
talking to ourselves.
We're talking to you about Goddess Hecate and the way that she's coming forward, and how she's coming forward to me, and how she's coming forward to Janine, and how she's bringing this message that she wants us to share, the things that she's bringing forward to us. And we've been talking about, Ruth says everything happens for a reason. Well, we've been talking about how we don't have to be perfect, and we can just show up. And if I feel like my hair needs doing, we can just show up, and we don't have to be perfect. Sort of like, so. If we're getting a message, we can come out and say it. And before, I don't know if this happened for you, Janine, or Ruth that's listening, or other people that listen as we go through, that you felt, I can't really go on, YouTube, etc. and things, and bring my message, because who am I? Sometimes you feel like I need this huge confidence boost to get yourself to that position, and Hecate is telling us to strip away all that nonsense. It's a nonsense that was the old programming, in the old days, like, I'm glitching now, when you were the wise woman, the folk woman, you just went as you were. You didn't have to go and, prepare or anything to be on some, you'd go and help people, take your potions with you, take your herbs, take your spells. And, people would just see you as you are, if that makes sense. Yeah. And she's been coming through Hecate has to me last week a lot, and she's been with me for, since last year, or probably at least 3 years, when I started writing my book. She was one of the goddesses that came forward very quickly with the cyclamen flower, and I did some healing with her, and I'm writing a new book about about her, and it was going to be about her and Circe and Medea and other myths, but it is really about her, you know, and all the things she embodies, as well as the beautiful flowers that are in the book. And she wants us to like you're saying in your poem, I keep looking at my little key. Hang on, key, hold it here. She wants us to unlock those parts of us that have been locked up. And some of this can be from persecution in the past. Like I've been healing a witch wound this year. I've been shown when I was, funny enough, I was hung, which is a bit odd for a witch, but I don't know. But I was like, saw myself on the gallows, and I've been doing a lot of forgiveness and things with that. And so I feel better. Oh, Ruth's saying about your painting, so we'll let you tell her about that since she's come in now. Yeah, so we've been healing these wounds this year, and so different aspects are coming forward. Right, so Janine, can you tell Ruth about your painting? I know you've already talked about it, but can you just introduce it again, please?
Yes, the painting is of I call her Hecate. No, I'm calling like say would you? No, I can't remember what I said now. Hecate. I don't know if it's right, but anyway, yes, this is a painting I did yesterday, or a digital picture I did yesterday. I was inspired to do it, having written this poem in the morning, and I saw Kim's post about her event last night she was holding, and I just got this real strong inspiration to actually do this picture of her. She wanted to present herself to me in this way. I mean, there are many pictures of her, but she wanted just to do one how she wants to present herself to myself. So I'll just get out of the way so you can see it a bit more.
Oh wow, yeah, and I love the snake at the throat.
Yeah.
I was looking to see what that was.
Yeah.
We're dealing with these backgrounds.
Yeah, she doesn't want me to be in the. She doesn't want to be in me in the picture. She wants to take over.
I love it.
That's why I keep disappearing. Yeah, so that's how it sort of transpired yesterday. It was just like her energy just was so strong, and it was like everything. The poem was done really quick. Then the picture was. I was at one point. I thought, am I going to finish this in time? And she made sure that it was going to be finished in time. I mean, it's not. It's far from perfect, but again, we were sort of talking about perfectionism in this live, and so it doesn't matter. It's just she just thought, this is me. This is how I want to present myself to you.
It was interesting last night in the live because you saw her with black hair and one of the other ladies saw her with red hair.
Yeah.
I don't know if I usually see her dark, I think. And I always see her with the fires, but then I'm a flame holder, so that's probably why. You know, but I always see her with these fire. I always see her with a big fire, like in the centre, you know, like a fire to sit down. And that's how I used to do the cyclamen healing with this fire. But then now, and then the torches, you know, so it's, I sort of see her as a real sort of fire goddess, but holds all the elements as well. Yeah. Yeah. Have you got any questions, Ruth? Are you still with us? I don't know if she's still with us. I think might not be, might have gone. Anyway, so
I've still got more message yet.
Ruth said, amazing artwork, very powerful imagery. She feels dark to her. Scorpionic. Oh, transformative. Yeah, she is transformative, isn't she? Yeah. And maybe that comes with that triple goddess, like transforming. But there are myths of her transforming people into polecats and into dogs and all sorts. So, yeah, but I feel like it's not about the myths. It's about the deeper things of her, the way she wants us to transform and move into the new. Oh, Janine, I'll let you carry on with your message.
Yeah. What did I say now? I may have said it. I was thinking, have I said everything? But perhaps I have yeah, it's standing, it's embracing the mess, embracing the chaos, the failures, the things that go awry. Because again, we tend to want to avoid, but actually, when we're, yeah, this is what she wanted to say. When we're in that chaos, this mess, it actually is an opening for creativity. The disruption is happening so that it enables the creativity, the creative force to come through. And she gave me, during the morning, she gave me this picture of a little plant, like a seed that's germinated. And if you think about it growing and it comes to the surface, it needs to create some sort of disruption in order for it to actually penetrate through, in order for it to germinate and grow. And this is what's happening in the world, in the collective, is this disruption is happening, so it enables these cracks to happen, these openings, so that the plant, the creative plant, can start to grow and push through the surface, so that it's birthed into our reality. So she's saying, stand firm in the mess, stand firm in the chaos, because we are being used as conduits for this like plant to come through, to germinate and be birthed into this world. Because it's not about fixing, it's not about changing what's already here in the reality, but us focusing on being those conduits to bring this energy through, this creative energy, in whatever way it forms for us. Like Kim, it's for writing her books and her poetry. For me, it's writing poetry and singing, and I love creating songs, and obviously the art. And so it's going to be obviously different for all of us, but it's for us to be standing tall, standing firm in the chaos, like in the eye of the storm, to enable this information or inspiration, whatever it may be, to come through and be birthed into the world. So it's about not focusing on the chaos and the mess, but standing in it. It's like be in the world but not of it. That's an old saying, and I think it's very, very true right now. We're to be here, we're not to hide, we're not to go off into the wilderness to get enlightened and all this. It's to be right in the mess of it, the chaos, because we are the ones who are going to be the conduits to bring through whatever it wants to come through, but be in the eye of the storm. So we have to be strong, we have to be stable in self for this to occur, for this to happen effectively. So that's basically what she was saying to me.
That's such a beautiful message, and and it's very powerful to be in it, and to be able to be the creative force within it. People have said in wars and things that there's been massive sort of like, whilst there's been in the war, there's been lots of maybe inventions and creativity and ways to do things.
Yeah.
Whereas when everything's just calm, you're just not really pushing
too complacent.
Forward. Yeah.
The complacency gets in, and you just end up being comfortable and just rambling along, doing the same old thing, and nothing ever changes, nothing gets invented. But when there's difficulty, when there is adversity, that's when things can really happen. And we've got to move away from this, I want to get over, I want to get rid of.
Yeah, this idea, I want to change this, I want to change that.
Because that is the resistance, and that's saying, well, you're not accepting what's actually happening.
or Sally Ann Hamilton's come to join us. She said, stay strong and safe and be there. And the whole world's becoming too complacent. And I think that's right. And then I always feel like a lot of the world is driven by greed and fear. And we can't stop that, no matter how much we
No,
want
we're not meant to.
and change people. We can't, because
No.
that's human nature. We have to live alongside of it and
Yeah.
work along with it, but not necessarily in it.
Yeah.
Don't we? Yeah.
To be that peace, to be that
Ooh.
joy, to be that love, because that we are the examples that
and
for
then
others to then follow.
When people see or we touch other people in the work we do, they find the joy and peace within themselves, or even
gives them the confidence.
Even if they haven't got it yet, they know it's possible.
Yeah, if we can do it, they can do it.
Yeah, we're the example.
Yeah.
And I found that's really nice as well, because, like, say, I didn't go on that poetry workshop you're on, but I used to write poetry years ago. But I don't know any rules. I just write. I don't know any rules.
That's the best way. Yeah.
So I can't write a sonnet because I ain't got a clue, because I don't know what rules are a sonnet. So so I just write what comes, and sometimes, like, say we're found in Somerset, often when I'm near my home where I was a child, it's like it's coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and I just nearly need to write everything down fast.
Well, that's how it was for me. We're doing that poem yesterday. That's just like, I started to formulate the poem as I was in the silence, and then I thought, well, I know I need to write something here. So as soon as I came out, I got my book out, and it just started to flow out. And that's the thing. It's just being in that state of allowance.
Yeah, and I think art's like that as well. Like, I keep being drawn to do some artwork again, and you're in flow when you doing your art, aren't
Flow
you?
state creativity, I call
it. I love it. So you just step out, like Kim steps out the way and let the light and just everything flow, And even if my artwork's not very good, I've noticed that because when I was doing it, I was inspiring other people. And last week we were decorating pumpkins, and I just get an idea, get people together, and just create, and help each other. And that just felt, I was doing this with my neighbours and a couple of friends, and it just felt lovely that we just helped each other. And that just felt like something that we'd lost, something from a long time ago, lost.
But if you think about it, when the war was happening, and how people all came together, and how everybody was very resourceful, because they didn't have much, because they had it was all the rationing and everything. I mean, and I think in some respects, this is what's happening now, with the cost of living crisis, and people struggling monetary or financially. I do feel there's some advantages to this. I mean, not that I want people to struggle, of course not. But I do feel that it gives them people opportunity to be more resourceful, be more creative, more imaginative.
Well, I think it's part of the global, not politicians, something higher, sort of the global.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The global condition, so that we appreciate what we have. And
the gratefulness for everything.
Sally said that we will have rationing again with shortages. But some of it is a bit fear-based to make everybody hold everybody down. But then I feel it's about, in that energy, you just accept and enjoy what you have.
Yes, and then you come together to help each other out. Somebody might have a skill, or they might have some sort of possession or something that they can help, that you can use to help you with something. Or I was listening to some, I think it was Helen Skelton on the television, and she was going on about how mothers are getting together to help each other, like with, I don't know, childcare and that sort of thing, because obviously childcare fees have gone to the roof. And I mean, they've had that protest, haven't they, about the cost of childcare.
Oh, I've not seen that. See,
Yeah.
that's the problem, because I mean, I was looking at this inflation's. It's but it's like the cost of living's going up, in wages are going up in line, and then there's a I think there's probably a shortage of labour, so wages have gone up, but then that's put the price of everything up. And I did watch something on the TV, and they said there was a lady who had 2 children. She was a teacher, and there's no way she could afford. I think it was, for 2 children, it was something like £1,400 a
Yeah.
month to go to childcare, and she was missing out on all that time with the children. So she'd given a job up.
Yeah. Well, that's what they were saying in this protest, that people wanted to be working, but they just can't do it because.
Aren't there any free nurseries anymore? Sally said, because I don't. With my children grown up, there wasn't much in the way of free nurseries when my children were little. I used to work part-time when they were little, and then gradually build up. I didn't
I
go
know that
until they were older.
They have to pay up till about, was it 4 or something, and they start getting funding. But if it's any younger than that, then you have to pay, and it can cost you about up to 14,000 a year for that.
Yeah. And people aren't earning that much money,
especially now because of the cost of living.
It can't be encouraging. I know it may have changed. Sally Ann said there's a government tax allowance for childcare. I thought there was. I mean, my children went to a nursery at 4, and then they went into school at 5. But we were lucky because there was one near us. Then when I went to work part-time, I had a childcare who did a few hours while I was at work. But when I first went to work somewhere, I didn't earn anything for the first 6 months till I got a pay rise, because it all went on my childcare. Yeah. Oh yeah, we had the government tax allowance, but they've stopped it now. I suppose, yeah. I don't really know all these things. So, but then there are these things before, like, when COVID was bad, they would say grandparents couldn't look after children. It must have been so difficult for families to go through that.
Yeah.
So we're sort of, as you say, we go back to Hecate. I'm thinking of in the mother energy. If you've got young children, it's like it's a very difficult environment. Feeding, clothing, keeping up with your children, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I think it's so important for us to become more resourceful and more playful and creative, because that will enable us to do things. If you've got children, to do things with the children, even if you haven't got a lot of money, thinking about recycling things. And that's one thing I love to do in regards to art, is like get things where I can repurpose it rather than just being throwing it away. And this is the thing, I think, is one of the good things about this cost of living, that the consumerism, there's been so much consumerism that you just take things for granted and you think, oh, well, I can buy this, and then eventually you just throw it away. But now, obviously, people are not going to be able to do that the same. And so they've got the opportunity to start repurposing everything. And I think that's a good thing, I say I don't want people suffering.
I do, because we had this real throwaway, haven't we? Oh, Sally said she gives everything to a local refugee support scheme. Yeah. And I'm like thinking about what I'm going to do, something for charity, like a local charity for Christmas. Thinking, what am I doing? I've got something in mind. I've just got to formulate it. But as you say, sometimes it might not be about making the plan. It might be you just go to B&M, see a load of bargains, package them all up nice, and give them, rather than a plan and a drawn out thing, or just give them a donation and then they know where it can best serve people. Yes. Absolutely. Right. Well, have you got any last messages about Hecate for everyone today?
I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
So we're to stand in our power.
Just being yourself.
Be yourself.
Being yourself, and don't be in avoidance of anything. Face it head on. But face it, not in dread or like, oh, I've got to get over this, Face it with curiosity. Face it like a child. That's like an adventure. This is what I've been doing. Like when I've been getting triggered, it's like instead of thinking, oh no, you feel, even if it is uncomfortable or uneasy, realize that it's an invitation, that it's an opportunity to love and accept yourself more deeply. And this is her message, really, is that if we face our shadows in the right way, it becomes, in a way, an adventure. It becomes it's the journey. It's part of the journey of life, really, and also to be very experimental.
I like that idea. Yeah,
be
I
really
think I've got a bit boring with things these days. Yeah, so sort of like, as you say, like to experiment with all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Ruth, Sally Ann said, lovely message, and Ruth says, a call for more self-love and acceptance.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you do that, when you're facing your shadows, that's what you're doing. You are loving yourself. Because I mean, the thing I've done, and this came from Kyle Cease, actually, because I've been sort of watching his stuff quite a lot recently, and he says, if you feel the sadness, I allow this sadness to be in my body. I allow this sadness to be. I allow this boredom to be in my body. I allow this, whatever it is, grief.
Yeah.
However it's coming.
I get indecision. I get that gets me. Shall I do this? Shall I do that? What's feeling right? Where is it in my gut? What's feeling the best?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just as I say, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And I allow you to be here just as you are in your rawness. Just be in that rawness, not trying to mold and
don't try and hold it down. When the anger comes up, feel it.
Everything, whatever's coming, just and don't judge it. No judgment, no making stories about it.
Yeah, that's
let it be in this as it is, in its rawness.
That's what Jesus was teaching me before a couple of years ago, and I had that massive awakening. It was like, stop with the stories. They're just stories. You've created them, and they just get out of the story. Feel the emotion, the energy, but don't create it. Like sometimes, and I haven't done this for a long time, which is good, that I'd be feeling down. So I create a story about why I'm down, then create a solution. I'm such a creator. Create the story, create a solution. Like, I might be feeling down because of this, and then saying, I might feel better if I go on holiday. So you book a holiday, and you think you distracted yourself. All it was a story.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like not concern yourself too much about where it's come from, the root of it. Just allow it, whatever's coming up, and just be there, and that's it. Don't think, where's this stemmed from, or because then you're getting too involved in it,
and then you start finding it, and you've created something that never even really. It was just. I sometimes don't like it, a bit of jealousy, and it feels very uncomfortable. I don't get it very often, thankfully now. But sometimes it's like you just get this emotion that just arrives, and it's like, oh God, where did you come from?
Well, just say, like, I allow this jealousy to be in my body.
Yeah.
Allow the jealousy to be there.
Yeah.
Don't even make that bad and wrong.
It's like something. You're showing me a mirror, or you're showing me something else about myself. Now, being really real and true, and imperfect, because I don't normally talk about aspects of some of my shadowy things, because we've all got them, but we just
plenty of it.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, we've been on for nearly an hour.
That's gone fast.
I know, and half an hour of it we're on our own. But if you caught us now, you'll find. Oh, Sally Ann says, yes, jealousy is natural, but take it as a message about your true inner needs. Yes, true. So it's showing you something, and I think
it could be like you're comparing yourself against someone else, and that's like.
Yeah. And there's no need to compare.
No, because we're all different, and we're all doing different things. So that jealousy can come up thinking, they've got everything, and making all these assumptions as well. They've got everything. Everything's all right for them.
Well,
me
half the
as
time,
well.
you think they've got everything, but when you look,
just making assumptions about it.
I don't know what's going on with my glitchy, but when you scratch the surface, they haven't, and they can find that you can look at people and you think they've got something you haven't got, but you realise they haven't got something you've got.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So, well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to us and
nattering on.
Nattering on, yeah. We have nattered on a bit in the middle, but if you if we get some more information about Hecate, we'll bring it through. We'll bring, message. May have another live. Bring it through. If anybody'd like to join me for a live, even though we haven't done this for ages, we could, come and join. If anybody's listening who's got something they want to share, we can do another live and share the message to the world. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Share our messages out. And not over plan everything too much. That's what you said. Yeah.
If you feel very inspired to do it, if you feel like really like there's an energy, I always feel when it's inspired that there's a support there behind it, a power to push you forward, to push it out. So if you feel like that, then just do it. That's the motto of my spirit team. They say, just do it.
Yeah, just do
Don't
it.
overthink it. Just go for it, do it. And that's I really, I'm taking that on board now because that's taken a long time to actually practice that. But to do that, just do it. No matter how it doesn't have to be perfect, but somebody will, appreciate the message. Even if it's just one person.
And I think that's right. Like say, Sally said we'll do another flower live. That'd be a good idea because we used to do flower readings live. We used to come on and do them, and that was nice. Yeah, and next week I've been on about this, and I don't know if anybody really gets it, but there's some people that are from Belgium, I think, and some people in Europe that are going to Mount Sinai, and they're going to go on like a trek up Mount Sinai in Egypt, and then they're going to stay on the top of the mountain. If you look at this mountain, it's a bit grim. It's just like it's not like a mountain here. It's like a stony, rocky thing, in the middle of the desert sort of thing. But they're going to stay up there overnight, and they're going up there because they've heard the call for Mother Earth to go and join. And going to do a Zoom, or I might just do a Facebook Live. You just think, well, maybe you've overplanned it, Kim. Maybe best to just turn up and do a Facebook Live, and then nobody has to join, and it's less complicated. But like to join with other women, other people around the world to just honour our Earth, and it's just about listening, and it can be about climate change, but just about loving the Earth. So that's something that's going on next week on the full moon. And I've put a Zoom on, but I might just do a live, I'm now getting out. I'm okay to be seen where I've been hiding a bit lately. I've done a Facebook Live for months.
I like lives because, like you say, they're nice and simple. You don't have to spend too much time preparing for it. Oh, I'm going now. Bye.
And then you haven't got to invite people, and then if nobody joins, you don't do it. Whereas maybe if we do a live, if you do a live, what Sally said, there's a way on Facebook Lives you can invite anyone watching to join you now. Yeah, that's how we thought about doing it earlier.
It's the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Sorry, rooms, not groups. Facebook rooms.
And I think if I was live, you were watching, I can invite you on. We haven't tried that yet. That's why we're using.
You can't record that one. That's the only thing.
Can't you?
No.
I don't know if I can. I think I can. I think this live is not recorded on the software I'm using, but I think I can copy it and download it from Facebook. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, we'll have to come again and talk for an hour on Hecate.
It's been good.
Anyway, right. So, is there anything else you'd like to say, Janine, before we
No,
go?
that's it now. I think I'm done for today. I think I've said enough.
I'm going to say, I'm just going to say something very quickly. I'm just going to say, Hecate comes, and if you feel like, if you want to be at the crossroads, or you are at the crossroads in your life, she comes and she offers you the keys. There are many paths, and no one is wrong. Whichever path you choose in your life is right for you at that time. Never feel I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have done the other. We choose one path at a time, or sometimes many. If we're multidimensional, so maybe we're working on different things at the same time. Open your heart, open your mind for infinite joy, infinite possibilities, and let your inner child out to play. Remember that we can still play at whatever age we are. Find joy in everything, explore, and be in flow, in peace. Blessings. Okay, right then, I'll sign off.
All right.